Hi fellow orchid lovers, I have a few blooms I want to share with you. Not very large, the small type, but let's start here with this Neofinetia falcata, which finally opened. Well, it has been open for quite some time with these lovely blooms. They're fragrant, slightly fragrant, and I'm so very happy about it. This is a plant I bought 3 years ago, and in fact it's two plants because when it came, this one, when I unpotted it, this one was separate, but it's growing well. It has a new fan, and the main plant, it's also growing a new fan. Apart from the blooms, it's a first-time bloomer ever, and I'm over the moon with this. They're so lovely, and they're lasting very long. They've opened, well, over a week ago, and they look still very nice. And then here this is a species Phalaenopsis. It's a small-sized warm to hot growing epiphyte, and it comes from the Philippines and Borneo. It grows on tree trunks and branches in the dense shade, but she's doing quite well here. Anyway, she only gets direct sun through the window late afternoon. But this is a small plant yet. This is her first blooming. I bought it in March, and it has grown a lot since then. This leaf was the one that was forming when I bought the plant, and I realized as it went on growing that it was stuck, so I had to perform surgery, and the leaf was all wrinkled, but it's not so bad now that it has grown more. And since then it has grown this other leaf, and I'm quite happy. Just one bloom this time, but she is a first bloomer. She can grow wider and have many spikes and have many flowers at the same time. Of course she can. I hope I can get it. I hope she does well for me. She has very good roots, as you can see. I'm very happy with it. She's slightly fragrant too. This one is Phalaenopsis Sweet Memory. This one is not a natural species, but it's not a complex hybrid either. As far as I remember, this is the result of a crossing between a primary hybrid and a species. Anyway, I'll put the parenthood on the screen. You might think this is a very meager flowering on these orchids. The fact is that this orchid almost died last winter. I bought this one plant 3 years ago, and it had the most spectacular root system, but this poor plant was subjected to several experiences, but mostly she was a victim of semi-hydro, which was a total disaster in my environment, and I lost a few plants. The problem is winter temperatures, which are not warm enough in my house through winter to keep plants healthy in semi-hydro. So this plant lost all of its roots during the winter. Luckily, it lost only 2 leaves, which were later replaced. Coming spring, I managed to induce some roots, placing the stump in a high humidity pot with bark underneath, but with a very thick layer of moss on top, and kept watering with seaweed extract. She has these roots you can see now, and I decided to remove the moss as the plant looks quite okay. As I said, in the process she lost 2 leaves. She grew another 2. This one, which is smaller than the previous ones, and this one, which is the most recent, and it's already larger than the previous one. I never cut off the spike she had already, and I waited. Maybe she would dry off or something. Maybe the plant would need to suck the nutrients in there. But oddly enough, the plant never discarded the spike. And anyway, this plant, as you know, reblooms on previous spikes, so if we can, we should keep the spike, not cut it off. And now this plant is back to blooming. Just 1 flower, but I'm really happy with it. And also, as you can see, the spike is branching here. I fertilize in every watering, alternating Epsom salts with the seaweed extract and my normal feed. Calcium nitrate is always there in the water. I feed high at 300 ppm or above, but I flush regularly. Would I have lost this plant, I would have replaced it. I like the blooms and the fragrance. This one I have here is just a mini phal, a regular hybrid. Also had a setback in winter due to root loss. Didn't lose as many roots as Sweet Memory, but I followed the same procedure, and it has wonderful roots now. And it has beautiful roots, as you can see, going down in the pot. I have here my Sadiria japonica, which suddenly decided to lose two leaves. This is the second leaf she's losing, and I don't know why. She's growing another one. She has roots. See, she has humidity. She has feed. I don't know. We shall see. I was hoping she would bloom this year, but she decided to let me down. This one, which name you have now on the screen, is a hybrid, although not a very complex one. In its ancestry, it has several species which are quite interesting, like Venosa, Amboinensis, Mycolizzi, and Violacea. I bought this orchid last spring, and since then she grew one leaf, which is fully developed now, and she's starting a new one. This orchid was a bit dried up when she came, but she is fully hydrated now, as we can see from the newest leaf, which is sturdy and shiny. This one leaf here was dry and wrinkled when I bought this plant, but for my surprise, it managed to hydrate completely, or almost completely, and did not fall out as it was expected. This orchid has good roots, and she's potted in orchid bark. I had placed a layer of moss on top of the bark to provide humidity through the summer, but I don't think she needs it anymore. So I removed it, allowing the bark to dry up faster and therefore be preparing for cooler temperatures and shorter days. And now I want to make a short update on that one fowl I was given to the rescue last spring. If you follow my channel, you might remember that orchid that was potted in soil, which was badly treated with several keikis. Anyway, just for freshen up, you are watching now the orchid as it was then. And this orchid has had a difficult life for the past 5 years or so. She has been in a windowsill, getting morning sun till about 3 p.m., very often through the glass. Along the years I saw this orchid in a pool of water many times. In the meantime, only this keiki made it. However, this one is doing rather well as far as roots are concerned. As you can see, there are several. And mind you, the tips of the roots are pinkish, and so are the roots themselves when they are wet. Most probably because the flowers are pink, dark pink. Can you see at the bottom of the pot this fat root trying to escape through the hole? However, this orchid has not grown any leaf yet. Probably she's putting all her energy into growing roots. I hope she grows a leaf soon, but I am quite happy she pulled through so far. Apart from these, I have 4 other Phalaenopsis that are living outside for the summer, and those are complex hybrids. As a matter of fact, 2 of them are in bud, and as soon as they open, I'll show them to you. And this is it for today. I hope you have enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.